Um, Happy Eke Day. Today is another Eke Day. Remember, I said we'll be having a series of lectures on who we are. I'm still Mazi Anyanwu, and we are on who we are. We started by talking about the things that we eat, what enters into us, what defines us, and what keeps us safe. And one of the things that I said we'll be talking on, especially today, is the role of sex in our spiritual life, how it affects us, how what we ought to do, because we say we'll be talking about sex. You see, sex is something that is very enticing, because it's a kind of pleasure that you desire to have. Now, but everything comes with a price. Everything comes with a price. Now, I'm going to explain some things to us, and then we need to understand it, because whoever you sleep with has a lot to do in how the future becomes in your life. First of all, let us look at sex for what it is. Sex is a ritual. No matter the kind of sex you are having, whether you are sleeping with your wife or your husband or your girlfriend or whoever you are sleeping with, it is a ritual. Now the question is this: if sex is a ritual, what are the benefits of the ritual, or what are the damages that this ritual can cause? Because every ritual has its effect. It could be negative, it could be positive. But sex generally is a ritual. Now when you sleep with a woman that is yours, that you have legal rights spiritually and physically over, what you do is you people are doing a ritual that will generate into a progress. Either it gives you an additional member of the family, or it helps you propel your life in a kind of, maybe help you generate growth financially or physically, and then spiritually, because you are binding yourself with a woman that is legally yours, spiritually and physically. Now, when you sleep with a woman that is not yours, something that you borrowed, now whatever you are investing in that borrowed land stays in the land. You will not be able to harvest 100% benefit of that investment. You cannot, you will not. So when you deposit, especially when you release into a woman that is not your wife, you've given her authority over your future, and she can do with it whatever she wishes to do with it. This is why it is very, very complicated and very delicate. Sex is not something that we should take for granted. The thing is that they say the spirit is willing, for the flesh is weak. At times you want to resist it, but you cannot help yourself because you need to satisfy yourself. But at the end of the day, you get satisfied physically, and then you throw away a lot of things that would have helped you in life spiritually, and at the end of the day, things will not be able to right. A woman that can hurt you or damage your future may help my own future. It depends on how we are wired. That woman that is going to cause problem for you if you sleep with her may not cause problem for the next man if that man sleeps with her, if things are done well. Now, the same woman can also help you in life if things are being prepared or positioned well. That is what sex is all about. Now, sex is a kind of demonstration of how you feel of the inside of you. Now, anybody that cannot resist a particular woman, automatically you have shown physically that you are already a slave. Because if you're not a slave, that physical structure will not be able to control you. That you have slept with all the women in the village does not make you wise. It does not make you a guy. It makes you foolish. And it puts you in a position that you will live in regret most of the time of your life, because your potential is cut off. There is no way you can sleep with more than 10 women, and all of them will help you. I mean, will help lift you up. Most of them will drag you down. And that is what thing we should know. Like I said, what goes into you is what defines you, not what comes out of you. Because What comes out of you is as a result of what has entered inside of you. Now, before you ejaculate or before you release in a woman, mind you, you have already, the feeling has already been running into you. You've seen, you've liked. Because one thing about sex is that it's all about imagination. It's all about imagination. Even if you see a naked woman now and your mind is not there, your mind is in a football match, or in a movie that you love that has nothing to do with romance, you will see that you will not, before you know it, your manhood will come down. You won't even feel anything again because she's there naked, but your mind is somewhere. So it's only when you begin to imagine those things that you see yourself rising to a level that you will not be able to control yourself. So that is what it's all about. Now, when you are able to control your emotions or your imaginations, you will not be ruled by what your eyes is saying. So how does men handle such situations? I've seen men that have walked into a naked woman, or that women have stripped themselves naked before, and they walk away without even touching the lady. It's not difficult. It's because the mind is not there. The mind is not concentrating on that part of life. Because the man himself is seeing something that is bigger than just that. So he doesn't want to destroy what is in the future because of 5 minutes of pleasure. I'm not saying that people shouldn't get down, but the issue is that you have to do it properly. That is why in the Igbo culture, men are allowed to marry many wives, but they are not allowed to start fornicating with women that are not married. You want a woman, you like her so much, go and marry her. When you marry her, when the bride price is paid, when you do the normal ceremony, when you follow the normal process, due process, she becomes your wife. She becomes your wife. And the moment she becomes your wife, what happens? You have legal rights, spiritually and physically, over her. You have legal rights, spiritually and physically, over her. So there is nothing again. You see that instead of bringing you problems, she will resort to being an access, will resort to being a stepping stone for you, not a stumbling block. So it doesn't matter how many times you get down with her, but just because two people have been bound to become one, everything will begin to work according to plan. So, like I said, what you take in defies you. Also, that thing that you take in also is what helps you develop. The same way you grow physically is the same way you grow spiritually. And let me tell you something. There is something we should know. The spiritual life controls almost practically everything as long as this life that we are living in is concerned. Whether it is your physical growth or your spiritual growth or your financial growth, it is the spiritual that controls practically everything. And the moment you get it right, you get every other thing right. Because first of all, you are not a physical being. You are a spirit being that lives in a physical body. You are a spiritual being that lives in a physical body. So everything that you do in life has to be anchored spiritually. And the moment you don't get the spiritual aspect of it right, you have problem in every aspect of life. That is why when you have a problem, they seek for spiritual solution, because your problem is not just physical. Your problem is not just financial. Your problem is spiritual. And when you correct that spiritual aspect of life, you have taken care of the whole other areas of life. And that is what we need to understand. And that is why sex is important. How you treat it is important. You may call it lovemaking. But the issue is that it has a lot of weight, a lot of influence over what happens in your life in the future. So the lady you are getting down with, that lady you are planning to spend your last card to sleep with, have you checked out who she really is? Because the question is, who are we? Because what you are seeing is a physical, the container that is carrying the spirit. Have you found out the kind of spirit that dwells inside of that lady? Have you found out who she is spiritually? Because who she is spiritually is who she is, not who she is physically. You are seeing a physical body. Maybe she's beautiful on the outside. What about the inside? What about her spiritual self? What about her spiritual being? How does she look? Is she ugly? Is she beautiful in the inside? You are getting down with her. How is she? Does she have the kind of spirit that will help you propel and then grow in life, or does she have the kind of spirit that will destroy you and destroy what you represent? Have you ever asked yourself that question before you get down with her? She looks fine beautifully. She looks beautiful physically. I mean, she has all the curves and all the figures. What about her spirituality? What about her life? What about her spiritual life? Have you taken time to find out who she is? You understand? It does not really matter, because the issue is that at times we spend time with a lot of in an environment that teaches us to neglect spiritual aspect of life and then focus on the physical aspect. That's why a lot of us are still struggling, because we have tend to take everything on the surface, everything on the physical aspect of it, and then we see ourselves struggling. And the same society that is telling you to forget the spiritual aspect of life and focus on the physical aspect of life tells you that for you to get something and then establish something on here, you have to go get out of this physical realm. So that means that whatever you are looking for is not in this physical realm. It is outside the physical realm. You take it there, you bring it into the physical realm. And this is where we have all failed it. You can never confirm a relationship physically except it is confirmed physically, spiritually. I keep sharing this with a lot of my friends. The first day I set my eyes on my wife, I knew she was my wife, because I've seen her years before that particular time. I've seen her months before that previous day. So the moment I saw her, I knew I have seen this face before, but I didn't know exactly where and when I have seen the face, until I was battling with my thoughts for over 30 minutes. So the moment the thing came back to me, and I realized in my dreams, not just once, not just twice, I know that I've seen her several times in my dreams. And each time I see her, they will show me, say, this is your wife. But I know I was seeing more than just one woman, but she was the one that was in front. So these are the things you look at. These are the areas you look at. You have to confirm something spiritually. If not, it will not work. And this is where a lot of us are failed. It's not all about physical beauty. It's not all about physical beauty. The issue is this. I'm not saying that there is anything wrong in a man befriending a beautiful woman, or a woman going after a handsome man. It's not what I'm saying. What I'm trying to say, that in as much as you are appreciating the physical appearance of that particular fellow, try to find out the spiritual background, whether it goes well with you. Because a mad person has a friend. In as much as it might be bad for you, it may also be good for somebody else. But then, is it for you? Is that spiritual atmosphere meant for you? Because if it's not meant for you, it's going to work against you. So this is what we exactly mean when we talk about that. You need to find out, because you have to look before you leap. You have to look before you leap. You can never progress in life except your spiritual situation is taken care of. It's when the spiritual atmosphere is handled very well, that is when you see progress coming from all corners. Because no matter what you do, we are all spiritual beings that is sent here on assignment. None of us came here on our own. We are here on assignment. And until you align yourself with whatever it is that has been designed for the purpose for which you are here, until you align yourself with those materials, whether it is human resources or physical materials, until you align yourself with those materials, you will not move up in life. You will not progress in life, because you need to get connected with the things that have been designed for you before you were sent here. Some arrangements were made. There were things that were prepared also in that spiritual realm that were pushed into the physical realm, so that you can use those things, or you can work with those things and get your destination. And the woman or the man that you settle with is part of those materials. But you need to understand that. So that means you cannot as a person settle for any how person. It doesn't matter how beautiful or how handsome or how rich or how poor that person is. It has to be somebody that is connected, that is connected with your destiny, that is his or her destiny is interwoven with yours. And that is why, because it is part of who you are. It is part of you. It will help define you, or it will help damage you, depending on which line the person falls in. So that is why sex is important. So the question you ask yourself, who are you having sex with? Who are you having sex with? It does not matter how powerful you think you are. There are some people that will enter into your life that will just destroy everything you've been struggling for, everything you've been building, everything you've been doing. There are those that will enter into your life. They will help you blossom. They will help you grow. They will help you expand. They will help you establish. Just their coming in alone will give you that step that you need. And each time it happens, you will realize that, yes, you are connected to the right person or to the right people. So let us not deceive ourselves. It's not about pleasure. The pleasure part of it is you trying to entice or make your physical body feel good. But it has a lot to do. It anchors spiritually. It has a lot to do with the way we feel spiritually. It has a lot to do. So whoever that tells you that sex does not affect your growth, that person lies to you. That person lies to you. Forget about what people who are into occult world is doing. Those who are in occult or secret courts, they can do anything because they themselves are not progressing with their own, according to their own destiny. They have sold their destiny out. So they are using some other forces to progress, and then their life is cut short. So it is not the same thing with you. You yourself, you have to be in line with your destiny. You are not using a charm from somewhere else. You've not sold your destiny. Your destiny is still intact. You will live long. So, but for you to prosper, you need the necessary materials. There are materials designed for you. Those materials are what is going to help you progress. And part of those materials is who you sleep with. And that is why it is very, very necessary and important for each and every one of us. If you really want to have a partner that you really want to enjoy your life to full, then you have to get married. It's simple. It's simple. There is no two ways about it. Don't be deceived. There is no two ways about it. If you see somebody that is doing it the other way around and the person is progressing according to your own definition, look very well. Don't say, because he's doing it, I'm going to do it. Maybe there is something, because in my place, they say, when a bird comes out of the middle of the road and is dancing, that something is playing music for that bird. And whatever it is by the roadside, close to the bird and playing that music. That's why the bird is dancing and dancing. So if you join the bird in that dance, you might lose a lot of things, because the music is being not played for you. It's played for the bird. And this is what we need to understand. So that somebody is doing something and the person, you are seeing it as if the person is succeeding or getting away with it, does not mean that you should emulate it. Find out what has been designed for you. None of us is meant to be a mediocre, or none of us is meant to, not progress in life. We are all wired for progress. But then it is according to time and destiny. But you need to find out your own destiny and then align it with the way you live. Now, like I said, there is no woman that is not created to settle down with a man. There is no woman. Every woman has a man that is supposed to, when you graduate from your father's house, there is another man that is supposed to take care of you. So many of us end up separating or divorcing our married husbands because we married the wrong people. Because there is no way, no matter how it is, the moment you get in line with the right person, you will stay. The marriage may not be full of roses, but then you will see reasons why you should stay in that marriage. But when you are, hooked with the wrong resources, you will see that no matter what you do, nothing seems to work. So you'll be looking for a way out. It's simple. So you see, at times we like to live in denial. We like to lie to ourselves. And that is why you see a lot of problems here and there, because we tend to deceive. The first person that we like to deceive is ourselves. When you start telling yourself lies, telling yourself that you know that this thing will never be good, that this will never be okay, but you are telling yourself, trying to convince yourself that it's going to be all right. It's going to be all right. It's going to be all right. Just hang there. It's going to be all right. When you know actually that it will never, you've seen it, you've seen from the beginning, from the end, that this thing will never be all right. Then at the end of the day, by the time you must have wasted your time, you will start looking for who to blame. Because you knew before you entered into that race that you were not going to make it to the end. But you entered anyhow because you feel that you have to do it. I mean, you either you want to impress people or whatever, I don't know. But the issue that you entered into the race, and at the end of the day, you did not make it to the end because you knew that you will never make it to the end. There was no reason. Because at times, why people push the end is when they feel committed, when they feel there is a need for them, when they feel the need, when they are compelled to give their all. But how can you make sacrifices when you understand that any sacrifice you make will be a waste? You see, you will be discouraged. You will not make any sacrifice, and you are not going to push yourself, to push to the end. And this is what happens when one gets down with the wrong person. When you settle for the wrong person, you begin to lose the courage. You begin to lose that inspiration. You understand what I'm saying? So the issue is this: in life, first of all, who we are is interwoven or is connected to who we mingle ourselves with. Now we have a lot of people around us. The people you cannot change, the people you cannot choose are your family. Because you are not the one that created yourself into that family. But there's a reason why you are created into that family. Anyway. But you can't change them. You have to learn to deal with them. There will be bad ones, there will be good ones, but you have to learn to deal with them. Then for you to pick a partner, you must be in the spirit. If you are not in the spirit, you will miss the whole point. If you are not in the spirit, you will miss the whole point. That is the idea. You miss the whole point. And once you miss the whole point, you make a lot of mistakes. So when you look at sex, you see, I was going through my files, and I came across this note that somebody sent to me, concerning St. Valentine's Day, Lover's Day. And I was smiling because I spoke to that young man some time ago, and I told him, I said, look, sex is a ritual, and it depends on what it's being used for. So when he read an article that was written on Lover's Day, and why people are, compared or encouraged to celebrate Lover's Day, for the benefit of the occult world, the negative ones, the kingdom of darkness. So this guy told me that he has seen the reason, what I was saying. I said there is nothing Christianity has brought to us that is helpful. Everything that Christianity brought to us is something that is supposed to draw our blood, that is supposed to suck away our destiny. And when you look at them as if, because if you are looking at it from the physical perspective, you look at them as if it's something that is helpful. Look at what they tell you, Lover's Day, the day you show love. Now go and check the origin of that. You will not see what I'm saying. Now, like I said, sex is a ritual, but then the ritual they were doing, the sexual rituals they were doing, they normally do that particular day is for what? Try to find out what it's for. You will see that at the end of the day, it is to empower themselves so that they can be able to keep digging deep into their negative lifestyles and then using other people. Because during this season, a lot of their spiritual prostitutes are pregnated, and the children that they are going to give birth to will also be used for physical sacrifices, blood sacrifices. So a lot of things are done in this particular season. Now, where are they coming from? They're all coming through sex. They're all coming through sex. But these are things nobody is telling you. Nobody is telling you. Now, they tell you about St. Valentine. St. Valentine is one of the priests that will gather children and he will tell them to be doing oral sex on him. They will be sucking his prick. These are the things we know. But it's not something you should. If you start talking about these things and then start saying it, people will think that you are attacking. You are attacking Catholic priests. But the truth is that these are facts. These are facts. These are things that have happened. In Catholic Church, it is not a big deal for children to, especially boys, small little boys or little girls, to perform oral sex on the priest. This is a normal thing. And these things are not just done because the priests, they derive pleasure in it. It is done, it is part of the sacrifice. There is a lot of pastors, they do it before they go to the pulpit and they start preaching. So, but you may not understand the reason why, because most of these deities that they themselves, or most of these societies that they belong to, demand such attitudes or such lifestyles. So for them to really give them the kind of protection or the kind of provisions, they need spiritually. So they demand this kind of lifestyle from them. Now, imagine you, when you get down with a lady that has been used, because once a woman is used by these people, she is automatically initiated. That you get down with any lady that is used by these people. Now, what you are trying to do is that you are trying to transfer your strength to the lady, and the lady in turn will give it back to them, because they are the foundation of our spirituality. Now, remember that in the book of Proverbs, according to them, I'm talking to Christians now. It says, "Give not your strength to that which destroy women." So, if what I'm saying is wrong, how can you describe a man sleeping with a woman as a man giving his strength to her? They are telling you what it is. You get down with her, you lie down with her, you release inside of her, you've given her all that you have. So the only person you can give something that you have to keep for you is your life. And this is the area we are failing it as a people. And that is why many of us are still struggling today. I've seen people that their lives are rendered useless because of the kind of lifestyle they have lived. I've seen people that have climbed up and then they fall from that place and they break into pieces. In fact, they cannot pick their pieces and put it together again. Why? Because of the kind of lifestyle they lived. Sex physically might be sweet, but spiritually is something that you need to organize yourself before you get into. That is the truth of the whole matter. It's something that you need to organize yourself before you get into. There is a lot to it than just male, having sex. There is a lot to it. There's a lot to it. So if you make mistake about it, you have a lot to lose. You have a lot to lose. And that is why I said it is not just what comes out of you, it is what goes inside of you that defies you. Because the moment the thought goes into you, you will start battling with that thought. You may have the thought for months, you may have the thought for weeks, you may even have the thought for years. But if you cannot really win the battle in your mind, if you cannot win that battle in the thought, once you conceive the idea of sleeping with that lady, you will do everything possible to get her. Or you will do everything possible to get that man. Many girls have rendered their lives useless just because they slept with a man. They never knew what he was doing. So some of them will say they have this thing coming out of their private part. They have these mugots coming out of their private part. They have this. And some of them have said, some women have done it and became mad. What I'm trying to say is this. You don't have to get down with somebody until you really discover who that person is spiritually. It may be somebody you've known all your life. But you need to find out the spiritual life of that particular person. That is why I keep telling people, especially those who are in Ogomo, don't marry anybody that is not in Ogomo. Any man anybody that does not follow the system that you follow. Talking about Ogomo, I'm not talking about people that go to native doctor. I'm not talking about people that believe in Ite. I'm talking about those that do the normal tradition, ordinala and omenala. You cannot, if the person is not following, because when you go with the normal tradition and nominala, especially the Igbo tradition and nominala, you have Ogu and Ofo. That means you are going to be upright, you are going to be honest, you are going to be open and transparent. If you are not, the very land that is supposed to protect you might harm you. So that is why the only person you can trust is somebody that is already in that Ogomo. Because they are the people that will be open. They know the implication if they derail or if they divert from what they are supposed to be or where they are supposed to go, then they have a problem, and they will not dare do it, not because of you, but because they know that they have no other choice than to be upright and also to be transparent. So I keep advising people, if you saw these people, it's not about somebody sneaking to go and meet a native doctor. No, that's not what I'm saying. It has to be a man or a woman that stands on our tradition, because they know the implications. And then before you ever get down with that person, you have to go through the normal due process. And that is why marriage to us is not just a ceremony. Marriage is life to us. Marriage is life to us. So you have to, if you love somebody and you really want to, you have to really do the normal process. By the time you go through the normal process, if there is anything blocking your way, if there is anything that will cause problem between in your life or in the life of the person that you are coming into, those things will be averted. Those things will be taken away because we've taken the right steps. Because we are going to not just appease men, but you will also appease your ancestors and the ancestors of the land for which you've gone to take your partner. So because they will bear witness to that union, they will know that this union is legal. It's legal. It's legally spiritually. It's also legally physically. So they will, instead of being a problem, are going to give you support, all the support that you need. So we need to understand that aspect of life. Sex is food, but some foods will give you life and help you to grow. Some foods will damage you. In fact, will become poison and kill the person. So the question is that what kind of food are you eating when it comes to sex life? Because I said I'm going to do well on sex today, and that is why I'm talking about sex, because many of us have taken it for granted. We think that when you buy a big car, when you build good houses, then the next is to look for women and carry them in numbers. You are destroying yourself. I'm not saying that you cannot marry more than one wife if you want to. It's not what I'm saying. What I'm trying to say is that whatever you want to do with a woman, if you're a man, do it. It has due process. Follow the normal due process. Do it well and do it right. Then you as a woman, before you get down with a man, do you know why our forefathers made it that a woman must marry a man when she is a virgin? There's a reason. And many of you don't know the reason. That is why some of you think it doesn't matter. It matters a lot. It matters a lot because when you marry, now any man you have had sex with, you've entered into a covenant with that man. Any man that you have had sex with, you've entered into a covenant with that man. So imagine you having sex with 15 or up to 50 men. So that means you have covenant with each and every one of them. So if you go into any man's house, to really settle with the man, you will end up giving the man, if the men you've had covenant with, if those men are evil men, you bring negative vibration into the life of that man. And at the end of the day, the man, instead of progressing, the man, everything that he has laid his hand on will be destroyed. And that is what is called witchcraft. That is why if the man starts abusing you or accusing you, he is not far from being right. The same thing happens to women. When you marry a man that has damaged his atmosphere by sleeping with a lot of women, and you expect peace or you expect progress in that same home, some of you have not been able to conceive because of this kind of situation. Because of this kind of situation, some of you have not been able to conceive, and you don't understand this. But the issue is that sex is a covenant and a ritual at the same time. And this one is a covenant with oath. This one is a covenant with oath. Especially those of you that specialize in disvirgining women. Remember, there is an oath, and there is also an oath with blood. So when you do that, when you disvirgin a woman, you've taken an oath with her, and not just a covenant with oath, but a covenant with oath and oath with blood. Because blood now is involved. And some of you are wondering why you are going through what you are going through. That is why they try to, in our place, marry young ladies off early. Between 16 and 18 years, they've married. Why? Because if you allow them, they are human. They will feel the urge to have sex. And before you know it, the girl will make mistakes. So before she makes that mistake, she marries at the age of 18. She has a man that will really satisfy her. And at the end of the day, she will no longer look outside, but she herself will now know the need. And women go through a lot of education. She will know the need to keep herself and keep her body. Not just for the sake of her man, but also for her own good and for the good of her children. Many of you have lost your children. Some of you, your children will grow. After graduating, they will die. You will start looking at neighbors. Many bad things have happened to your family. You feel that it is neighbor that did it, but you don't know that it is the lifestyle that you live. It is because you have damaged what should have protected you. You have contaminated yourself by sleeping with several partners. And at the end of the day, if something starts happening in your family or in your life, you will start pointing fingers at people who don't even remember you when they sleep. So we need to really know that sex is something that we ought to do. It's sacred. It's not something you do carelessly. It is sacred. It is sacred. Sex is a part of it. It's like worship itself. Sex should be a religion, something that we uphold. Something that we uphold. You are not supposed to expose your body to just anybody because you want to satisfy your sexual urge or your physical urge. You are destroying yourself spiritually. It's just like somebody that you bought a house that took you about $1 million to build, and then all of a sudden, because you are hungry, you told somebody, okay, give me a plate of food and take my house. It's stupidity, makes no sense. So you will now eat, after eating the food, you sleep outside, or after eating the food, you will now start looking for $1 million to go and buy the house back from the person that you ate a plate of food that doesn't cost anything. That is what sex is all about. It's just 5 minutes pleasure, and you destroy your whole future. It makes no sense. It makes no sense. It makes no sense. So that is why we have to be careful. We have to be careful. Careful in the sense that it is for our own good and for the good of our partner. Many families have been destroyed. Some women, their marriage couldn't work. Not because of your husband is sleeping with women, because before you met him, you've already contaminated yourself. So those things you did yesterday, they are haunting you today. So it's not just all about him. And mind you, there is what we call the law of attraction. Remember, you are a woman that has been flirting, so you will meet a man too that has that same nature. Somehow he will get connected to you. You can never meet a good man. You meet a man that has that nature. So that you've decided to settle down because you want to marry does not make it everything that you have done to go away. Everything you do in life, there is a price to pay. So when the man comes into your life, the same thing you were doing to other women, then your husband will start doing it. Then it's like those women who are meeting your husband are doing it back to you. And then you start complaining. It's not about the man. There is something influencing him. And that was why he met you at the first place. To pay you for the evils that you have done. So you see, we need to. It's about time we desist. We separate ourselves from such lives. Now, I'm not saying that I'm going to change your past. But you can start by investing in a good future. You can start by realizing that who you are is not just about you. It's about those around you. Then you start checking those who are bringing close to you. You understand? You will start taking the kind of life you live. Is it a life that is worth living? Are you supposed to live this kind of life? So these are the questions you start asking yourself. Because everything you do has something to do with your life. I'm not saying that you shouldn't. What I'm saying is that before you get down with a woman, there is nothing like casual sex. That is what I am trying to say all this while. There is no such thing in the spirit realm as casual sex. Now, before you talk about casual sex, make sure that the lady or the man is legally yours. Legally, spiritually and physically. Some ladies will come to you and say, I married a man and I divorced him. I have my divorce certificate. That one is bullshit. That is what the law says here physically. What about what the law says spiritually? So that is why if you look at the way the Africans separate, that is the best. Because it's not just done physically, it is done also spiritually. So you must understand that it has to be spiritually approved. Now, what does it mean? Whatever it is that you took in the process of getting together, you return it to the rightful owners. Those who understand what I'm saying, those who know what I'm saying will understand what I mean. It has to be done through the normal process. You reverse everything back. It has to be done through the normal process. For example, now, let me use the one many of you will relate to. Let's say you wedded somebody in a church. Now you want to separate with the person. Now the only thing that the church gives you, apart from the certificate you sign, is the ring that you put in the hand of the woman. Is it not so? Okay, now you need to take back your ring. And then she takes the one that she has put in your hand. So both of you will go with your separate rings. But if she's still wearing your ring and you're still wearing her ring, now what I'm trying to open your eyes. I'm not saying that that is how the church own works. But what I'm trying to say is that because of that ring, two of you are still connected, even though that the divorce paper has been given. So until you destroy that ring, so there is a connection that is always between husband and wife spiritually. It has to be, that connection has to be cut off. And it goes through a process. The same process you went to while you are about to marry her, is the same process you will go to cut off that spiritual connection, so that she will be free and you will be free. But if it's not done properly, each and every one of you will have problems. I'm not talking about attitude here now. If a woman loves sex making, or a man loves sex making, and you can be able to satisfy him or her, fine. Now, if a man cannot satisfy a woman, and your woman is stepping out, this one is very dangerous, and your woman is going out to sleep with other men, and you know about it, the only solution, the only option is to send her out of your house. Do not eat her food, do not sleep with her. If you eat your food and you sleep with her, you are endangering your own life. She does not deserve you, one. Secondly, that can kill you or kill your children. So you send the woman out of your house. Don't even mix, don't mix this with emotion. It doesn't matter whether she was with you from beginning and she suffered with you. It doesn't matter. Even if she gave you part of her kidney, send her out of your house if you want to live. Because if she understands what it means to be married, she would have stick to you and not defy herself. Because one thing is that there is one danger when it comes to women. You know, women at times will say that we are always focusing on women. No, the truth of the matter is that the woman is the bed. The woman is the bed, not the man. And when the bed is defied, nothing works in that family. When the bed is defied, nothing works in that family. Nothing works in that family. When the bed is defied, she is the ground. Okay, let me use the word that many of you can relate to. She is the ground. Now, it does not matter the kind of seed that you have in your hand. When the ground is polluted, when the ground is not fertile, if you put that seed, it will not germinate. So, if the ground is polluted, what do? You leave that ground and go to a ground that is fertile. Because the ground is the most important thing. It is the ground that defines how the seeds will grow. The woman is the ground, and that is why her position is very important. That is why even those most of you who are in the church will know that they have told you that marriage is honorable, bed undefiled. What is the bed? Go and check it very well. It is the woman that is the bed. It is the woman that is the bed. When in every other tradition, go and check in everywhere in the world, they don't come and check if a man is a virgin. When they want to check, some people some religious, they will check if the woman is still a virgin. Because she is the blessing and she is the curse. So if she is not a blessing, she becomes a curse. She has power to bless the man. She has also power to curse the man. So it depends on how contaminated or how blessed her spirit is. So don't be deceived. It's not about, don't let emotion, don't be carried away by the way you feel. You might feel something for her, you love her, but the most important thing is this. You are here on earth not just to enjoy yourself sexually, you are here on earth to fulfill a purpose. Now the question is that the lady beside you or the man beside you, will they help you to fulfill that purpose in life? That is the question you should ask yourself before you settle for anything. If they are not going to help you, if they are not for you, if they are not for the purpose that which you came to earth, then there is no need hanging around them. It's very simple. Let us not deceive ourselves, because self-deceit is the highest thing that has been, destroying so many of us. We like to lie to ourselves. We like to tell ourselves lies. The truth is this: you have a purpose. You are not here by accident. You are designed for a purpose. The lady beside you, the man, forget about what they are saying. Forget about what they are pretending to be. The issue is that find out spiritually, open your spiritual eyes. Is this person going to help me fulfill my purpose? If the person is not going to help you fulfill your purpose, then why hanging around the person? Because nature does not give you something that will not work for you. It gives you something that will help you. That is why when you get to a place, at times before you get there, you see that most materials are made available. So if a woman or a man is going to be your partner for life, then they should have been prepared for where you are going to. If you have a purpose and somebody is opposing it and the person is your wife, no. That person is not your wife. You have a purpose and a man is opposing it and the person is your husband. No. It's self-deceit. That person is not your partner at all. You better run. It's very simple. Because the main reason why you are here is for you to fulfill your purpose. We all have assignments. And nature cannot give you somebody that will not work in line with that same assignment that was given to you. You understand what I'm saying? So it's very simple. These are simple, these are common sense will tell you, common spiritual knowledge will tell you that for somebody to be in your life at a particular time means that the person has a role to play in your life at that particular time. My dear Edison, that is bullshit. That is rubbish. Trying to test a woman or test a man before you marry him is nonsense. If you not test the person and you don't like the person, who will you leave it for? You leave it for another person to, and you have tested it. It makes no sense. Look, my brother, the main truth is that we are not wiser than our forefathers. And that was why they gave us, when they gave us the format, they have, all these things they've thought about it. But they know that it doesn't make any sense, because at the end of the day, that person you don't like, that's why I say, the only way you can find out if a woman is yours or not, that is why, where I come from, what we do is that we do what is called alpha. Everything you want to do, give alpha. Alpha means that it will show you what is in the future. If the lady is your wife for real, you will see it. It will be made known to you through alpha. If she's not, it will be made known to you through alpha. Forget about how you feel. It's not about your feeling now. It's not about how you feel. It's not about how you're feeling. Alpha will tell you if the lady is your wife or not. And you yourself, your spirit will confirm it, because the alpha will not lie to you. Like I told you, before I married, I saw my wife. I was 15 years old. When I was 15 years old, my wife herself was, I think she should be maybe about 5 or 6 years then. But I saw her in the dream, a grown lady. I woke up, I drew her, because I used to draw. I drew her. I knew the face. I never forgot the face. When I saw the face again, after about 10 to 20 years, when I saw the face again, I knew, in a dream too, I recognized the face. The same dream came back to me. But when I saw her physically, I knew I have seen this face somewhere before. My dear, let me tell you something. It's not about how you feel. It's not about physical appearance. Until you begin to see things beyond just the physical look or beyond just how you feel, you can never move forward, because moving forward means you being in control of your spiritual life. It's not about testing. What do you mean by testing? What do you mean by testing? Like I said, sex is an imagination. A woman that has delivered so many children, in reality, her position will be different from a woman that has not been disvirgined. Now, but you may sleep with a woman that has delivered many children and you enjoy her more than a woman that has not been disvirgined. You may sleep with a woman that has not been disvirgined and you enjoy her more. It depends on what your imagination is built on. So what do you mean by testing? Even if a woman does not understand the language, your sexual language, you can groom her to understand it. People grow. It's not about testing. So this is where we deceive ourselves. We have to test and see what is the criteria for defining who is good or who is not good in bed. What is the criteria? You understand what I'm saying now? So if you're thinking this way and every woman is thinking, and women are thinking the way you're thinking, at the end of the day, we end up having a bunch of people who have defied themselves before they came into marriage. And then how will you enjoy the marriage? Because what you are getting into, what you are getting into, all of you are second-hand products. And then at the end of the day, nobody will enjoy it. But what I'm trying to say is that you have to curtail. It's important who you sleep with. It's important how you sleep with the person. It's important the kind of agreement you reach with people before you sleep with them. These are the areas where most of the areas we are having problems. Like I said, the food you eat defines you. It's not just about physical food. Sex is also a food. There are so many foods. Like I said, next week we are going to talk about our thought. Our thought. Thought is a food. And I will tell you how thought is affecting your life. So when I talk about sex, the idea of, like you said, testing. Testing is rubbish. It makes no sense, because what you are trying to say, I don't know how to explain it, but for me, it makes no sense at all. You want to test a woman, then find out if she is marriable or not. It doesn't make any sense. So if you leave her, okay, for example, you test her and you don't like her, so another person will come and test her and the person doesn't like her. We are still where we are. We've not moved forward. So, but let me tell you something. You think that she is the one that you have dumped. No. You are also cheating yourself because she has a spirit. And her spirit is stronger. When it comes to sex, her spirit is stronger than your own. Except you are an occultic man. Your spirit is stronger. Her spirit is stronger than your own. Every average woman, let's say for instance, now there is a woman, she doesn't do anything, she is not into spirituality, and there is a man that is not into spirituality. When they meet, the woman that has not no knowledge of spirituality, has her own spirit is stronger than the man that is also a novice. Because women naturally are created like that. Then how much more when she herself understands her root or her part in the spirit, then you are finished. She can deal with you and do to you whatever she wants to do if she's angry with you. So it's not about sex. Before you get down with a woman, you have to do the normal process. If she becomes your wife legally, you have every right to sleep with her. It doesn't matter who she is. It doesn't matter the spirit world she belongs to. Now, because she has admitted to be your wife, so that means there is a binding, a legal binding that exists between you and her. So even if she is angry with you, there is a level her anger will get to. You are still in control because she is your wife. It does not matter where the realm she operates on. She is your wife. So you have a legal claim over her. And the same thing applies to women. When a man marries you, officially, goes through the normal process, he is your husband. So you still have a claim over him. That is why at times many of you, they will tell you that you have spiritual husband and the spiritual husband is laying claim. The thing is that these are things that you did before you came to this physical world. Okay, fine. You've not divorced. You are still married to this spirit. And you may not even divorce the spirit for you to be free. For you to have yourself and enjoy yourself. All you need to do is to settle, do certain things that you're supposed to do. And they will give you time because they know that you're not going to be here forever. If you are too long here, you may stay 150 years or 300 or 200 years. Okay, let's just give it to you, 200 years. So the spirit knows that before 200 years end, you will come back. So they will wait. So it's a kind of telling, wait. Because when you wait, you continue from where you stop. But the main thing is this, the truth of the matter is this. Sex has a lot to do to our spiritual life. Like I said, those men who are not good in bed and they cannot last long are people that have actually really done a lot of damage to themselves. If you go and find that, you see that most of those men are people that have really, slept with women. They flirted around with a lot of women and they have nothing left in them. So it's all what we are saying, what we are talking about. So if a man has lived a normal life and then have lived a life of, any woman that he wants to go and marry, you can't marry more than 3 women. To marry a woman is not easy. It's not because you just go. No, you have to go through a process and then you have to spend. You have to, in our place, you must build house for the first wife, build for the second one. So before you start doing all these things, you may even at the 4th one, you will get tired. So instead of you now sleeping with 50 women, you end up with 4 women. So that is what we are saying. So that is why they put it in such ways so that you will understand that you can't just be jumping from one woman to another. It doesn't make any sense. It is going to affect you. It's going to affect your children. You will say how, but I'm telling you, I know what I'm saying. It's going to affect your children. There was this man that came to a community one time, and because he had this privilege, he was in Nigeria. That's what they call WAEC. WAEC is an institution that mark results for young men and women who wants to pass out of the secondary school and then move to university. So this man was a director an assistant director or a director in one of the offices. And then when he came to a community, he decided to sleep with all the young women in that community. In fact, the man really dealt with the community to an extent that people were really angry with him. But something happened, because whatever you do will always catch up with you. Something happened. This man is a man too that has children. He has daughters. I'm telling you, all his daughters, I don't know whether there are 3 or 4, I can't remember exactly. All the daughters that he had, that he came to that community with, the boys in that community pregnated all of them. To an extent that even one of the, I think the second to the last daughter of, because I happen to know one of the sons. So the boy called me and said, they have a problem. When they told the girl, I think the second to the last daughter, when she was pregnant, they told her to point the man that pregnanted her. She wrote 100 and something names. So she wrote 100 and something names. In fact, people were coming, taking the list to check if their name or the name of their brother is in the list. She wrote 100 and something names. So to tell you how the society really dealt with the man, imagine a girl that has slept with over 100 and something men, and she's not even sure. So that means she didn't sleep with them once or twice. She's not even sure among these 100 and something names which one was responsible for her pregnancy. So she could have been sleeping with an average of 2 or 3 men a day. So what am I saying? What I'm trying to say is that whatever you do will affect you, and not just you, will also affect your family, your children. So it's not about, my dear, we have to be careful. You see, sex is not something that you like I said, there's no casual sex. It's not something you take for granted. This is something that you look into seriously. Seriously, who you sleep with is important, and how you sleep with the person is also important. Very, very important. Very, very important. And this is one of the areas that all of us are being weakened spiritually, but we don't know. It is through sex. That is why a lot of charms, if you go to certain places, they will tell that strong men, for you to get them, is when they must have had sex. Once they come down from the place they are having sex, anybody can attack them. Anything can happen to them. And that is why one of the ways to weaken you in a dream is to give you either food or to come and have sex with you. So these are the two ways of, defying a person through a dream. And there is a reason why, because physically, that is the way it works too. Like I talked, the last time we talked about physical food, I said there are some certain foods that we are not supposed to eat. And now today we are talking about sex. And let us not look at it. That is why many people who understand what life is can never participate in this their Valentine Day. They don't even associate themselves with it because it's all about evil. There is nothing the West has brought that is not channeled towards helping them continue to enslave the rest of the world. And they are doing it through so many rituals, so many sacrifices. Everything they celebrate, both Christmas, Easter, all of them they are all anchored in certain rituals, sacrifices that will help them sustain their position here on the planet Earth. And that is what we are dealing with. So sex is something they have made. They told this casual sex. That is why they told that a man can sleep with a man. So these things are, when you do these things, you get the pleasure physically, but they themselves get what they want from you. You understand? So most of the things they introduce to the world are things actually helping them. And they created atmospheres for it. So anywhere you are, no matter where you are doing it in as much as we are doing it based on the fact that they have introduced it to you or they taught you how to do it. Whatever they want to get out of it, they will get out of it. Just like when you go to certain places, they will tell you to call certain names. That if you call certain names, you will get a breakthrough. So this is what they are doing. So there are certain things that has been introduced to you. And sex is part of them, part of it. And when you do it, you are adding to certain environments what you should have. You are adding to certain environment what I don't know how to really explain it for you to understand what I'm saying. You are adding to certain powers, to what you should have been fighting against. So this is what it is. So when we talk about sex is also a food. But the question I have asked before is, this food you are eating, is it going to help you grow? Or is it going to bring damage? Is it a poison? Or does it have its own vitamins and nutrients? That is what you ask yourself. That a girl has good labs. Recently now, most of you are seeing it. That most women will go and put artificial boots. And everything is artificial. So you are grabbing it because it looks fine, but then inside of it is silicone. You understand? It is plastic that is inside of her body. So this is the way it is in the spirit. That it looks fine on the surface does not make it fine. Many of you have seen some of them that have had problem, with it, and then they had to, call the attention of medical experts. Maybe their body is decaying or something like that because they put artificial into their body. This is how it is in the spirit. Just imagine that thing in the spirit. That she looks beautiful does not make her beautiful. That he looks beautiful or rich does not mean that that is the way he is in the spirit. Find out who you are settling with, who you are getting down with. Who is this person spiritually? By the time you find it out, then you will be able to get into such relationship. Because every relationship you enter into will define or determine how you're going to end in your race towards your destiny. And that is what I have to say today. So like I said, it has been a wonderful time with most of you, and I promised that I would come on board today, and I did. Although I came a little late, I have to apologize. I'm sorry for actually coming late. But I promise next week we are going to be a little early. And like I said, I will be talking about our thought, imaginations, how it affects us. Because I said I'm going to deal with foods, every food that we eat. Then when we finish with food, then we'll go into normal spirituality. Like the question has to be answered, who are we? And like I said, we are spirit beings, but we live in a physical body. So whatever we do, we have to be conscious of it. How does it work in the spirit? That is the first question we ask. It's not about how we perceive it physically. It's how it works in the spirit. And if it works well in the spirit, then we can embrace it physically. You understand? So that is the thing. Like I said, once again, I thank you for being part of this conversation. It has been a pleasure. There are some things I'm going to say in most of this teaching that many of you will not agree with. But I'm not asking you to settle for my word. I'm asking you to do your own investigation. We are here to help you understand the truth. Whether you put it and use it well, it's up to you. Whether you throw it away from your window, it's up to you. But the good news is that we have spoken out. And then whatever you do with it depends on you. So like I said, if whenever I come on this platform, I'm going to be raw. I'm going to be raw. I'm going to say things maybe normally I don't usually say. So like today now, if you see the way I'm talking about sex, it's not because I just know, but because we need to let you people know the truth and prepare you for what is ahead. So once again, I thank you for tuning in, and I pray and hope that all is going to be well. So it's been a pleasure.